Open Heavens 2025 Devotional. Date: Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. Topic: Words can heal. Memorize. Let your speech be alway with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Colossians 4:6. Read John 8:1-11, KJV. 1. But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. 2. Now early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came to him, and he sat down and taught them. 3. Then the scribes and Pharisees brought to him a woman caught in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they said to him, Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery, in the very act. 5. Now Moses, in the law, commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say? 6. This they said, testing him, that they might have something of which to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote on the ground with his finger, as though he did not hear. 7. So when they continued asking him, he raised himself up and said to them, He who is without sin among you, let him throw a stone at her first. 8. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. 9. Then those who heard it, being convicted by their conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the oldest, even to the last, and Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. 10. When Jesus had raised himself up and saw no one but the woman, he said to her, Woman, where are those accusers of yours? Has no one condemned you? 11. She said, No one, Lord. And Jesus said to her, Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. Message. Over the past 2 days, I discussed the power of words. Today, I will focus on how words can heal. As a Christian, you should always be gracious with your words. Ephesians 4:29. You should be generous with giving compliments and telling people encouraging words. Simply saying things like, I like your haircut, can bring people out of sadness and put a smile on their faces. Your compliments must, however, be genuine, because God will punish those who flatter others with their words. Psalm 12:3. In Ruth 2:1, Boaz was described as a mighty man of wealth. Unlike some wealthy people who look down on their workers and speak rashly to them, Boaz encouraged his workers with his words, and they responded pleasantly. Ruth 2:4. I believe this is partly responsible for Boaz's successful business. If you are a business owner and you curse or talk down on your workers, you are indirectly also cursing the work of your hands because they are the ones managing it for you. Nabal, unlike Boaz, was a man who spoke negative words. When David sent his men to ask him to give them something, his response was terrible. He spoke harshly to the men, and if his wife, Abigail, hadn't intervened by going without his consent to soothe David with her words, everyone in his family would have been destroyed. While Nabal's words stirred up David's anger and made him gather his men to go against the former's household, Abigail's words were seasoned with salt and kept her family from destruction. 1 Samuel 25:1-35. When you speak, what effect do your words have? Do they heal or destroy? Solomon said, Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. Apostle Paul, in today's memory verse, tells us to make sure that our speech is always with grace and seasoned with salt. Seasoning makes food more enjoyable. A fellow whose speech is well seasoned will always attract others to himself or herself because people go to places where they are appreciated and motivated. When the woman caught in the act of adultery in today's Bible reading was brought to Jesus, in the midst of many condemning words from other people, his words, Go and sin no more, brought her the liberty that she needed. John 8:11. Beloved, let your words bring unbelievers to Jesus and show them his grace. Do not let your words be the reason people reject the gospel. Action point. Consciously give genuine compliments and encourage people with your words every day. Bible in 1 year. Psalms 73 to 77. Hymnal, hymn 24. I want to be like Jesus. Remain ever blessed.